Hey guys, so today I'm doing a tag video. I'm pretty excited about it. Today I'm here to do the first and last tag. I was tagged by Jessica from Beauty Equals Hate. I will put the username here of the original creator. So, let's get into it. What was the first video you posted and what was the last video you posted? The first video that I posted on this channel was my very first bookshelf tour, and it was on that little tiny bookshelf behind me, and I had like 6 books. The last video that I posted was about the BookTube Write-a-thon, so I'll link that video somewhere here so you can check it out if you haven't seen it yet. Who was the first booktuber you ever watched and who was the last booktuber you ever watched? I don't really remember. I actually found book videos through watching Elle Fowler, Glitter Girl 21 or whatever her username is. She had videos where she talked about books, and then that's how I found book videos and all that, but I can't remember the first actual booktuber that I ever found. The last booktuber that I watched was Poland Bananas Books. I'm obsessed with her video, her main channel, and her book channel, so I'll link both of those. What is the first book you remember buying, and what is the last book you bought? The Babysitter's Club books by Anne M. Martin. I was obsessed with those as a kid, and I actually remember going to the Goodwill and buying those books for like 25 cents. I think the last books that I bought were the ones from my big thrift store haul that I did, so I'll link that video somewhere. This video is going to have a lot of links. Or what is the first novel you remember reading all by yourself, and what was the last novel you read? There was this children's book that I had, and if I can find the one I'm talking about, I'll put a picture. It was just like a big thick bind up with all of the Disney stories. And the last book that I read, well, the one that I'm reading right now is Tribulation Force, the second book in the Left Behind series, but the one that I actually finished reading before that was actually a short story that was sent to me by an author for review. You will see a review coming of that very soon. So yes. What was the first dystopian novel you ever read, and what was the last dystopian you read? I'm pretty sure The Hunger Games was my first dystopian novel. I know that's so unoriginal, but it's the truth. The last dystopian that I read was Requiem by Lauren Oliver. What was the first paranormal romance that you ever read, and what was the last paranormal romance you ever read? I think Twilight was probably the first one that I read. I didn't read all of the series. I just read the first book, and then I was just kind of like, meh, over it. The last paranormal romance that I read, That's a good question. Would the Clockwork Angel series be considered paranormal? I don't know. If it is, that would be my last one. What was the first book that made you cry, and what was the last book that made you cry? The Christmas Box, I think, by Richard Paul Evans, and that one made me cry. And that's just the one I remember crying over. I'm sure there was some before I read that, because I read that in like 2011, but I can't remember. So that's the one I'm going to go with. The last book that made me cry was The Outsiders, to be honest. I just read it this month, and I did tear up a little. What was the first entire series you completed, and what was the last series you completed? Maybe The Hunger Games. I mean, I read some series as a kid, like the Mary-Kate and Ashley books. I read all of those, so maybe that's my answer. The last series that I finished was the Delirium series. I finally read Requiem this month. What was the first book you couldn't push yourself to finish? What was the last book you couldn't finish? I think it was Wake by Lisa McMahon. That was right when I really got into reading, and I didn't like it, couldn't finish it. The most recent book that I couldn't finish, though, was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey. The last question, number 10. Who is the first person you will tag, and who is the last person you will tag? The first person I will tag is Cameron from Book Movie Guy. I'd like to see him do this. And the last person that I'll tag, Alyssa from Book Reviewer 21. So yeah. So thank you, Jessica, for tagging me. I will of course leave a link to her channel down below as well. Check her out. So that is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Trilogy. And I kind of always forget, but oh whoa, my computer. Woo-ah. I can't put this in there. This video is done. Done.